We create jobs and make entrepreneurial dreams come true. ACE, a nonprofit community lender, specializes in small business loans coupled with business advisory services. ACE has loaned more than $39 million, helped over 725 business owners fulfill their dreams, and ACE has helped its clients create or retain more than 6,200 jobs. These are the stories of those businesses we've helped reach success and claim their American dream.
Welcome to ACE's Best Stories. I'm your host, Eric Holtzgall. Each week, we bring you another story of an entrepreneur, inventor, somebody who started an organization and what it takes along that journey to get that thing going. We're talking today with Tequila Wilkes. She is the founder and CEO of the Platinum School of Performing Arts. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us about the Platinum School of Performing Arts.
All right, Platinum School of Performing Arts. We are an organization. We do a lot of performances here in the community, and we start from ages 3 and we go all the way to adults. We try to give everyone an opportunity to come perform and dance for us here.
So it's dancing?
Yes, dance and musical theater.
All right.
Yes.
Musical theater, yeah, because there's several that'll, they kind of got different focuses, and I wasn't sure if it was playing an instrument.
Okay, no, we don't do instruments. Right now, we're just focusing on musical theater is our main focus, and we do have voice lessons as well. And we incorporate dance, of course.
Oh, very nice. And so give me an example of maybe is it like what a play? Is it a play?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the one we're working on now is Alice in Wonderland Jr.
Oh.
Yeah. Last year we did Into the Woods. We've done Shrek.
Oh, so. I missed Into the Woods.
Oh, yeah. It was one of the great ones. Yeah, we enjoyed it. So that's what we do.
Okay. Yeah. So how did you get into this?
I've been dancing pretty much all my life. Taught at many different studios throughout the North Fulton area. In 2014, I took a leap of faith and decided to go with my own, and that's where Platinum School of Performing Arts came from.
So, but what was the decision to do your own? Did you just want more creativity?
More creativity, and just feeling like I just needed to reach a different group that wasn't in the studios where I was, meaning the underprivileged.
Okay.
I grew up underprivileged myself, and I felt that there was a need there. It was a base that hasn't been tapped into.
Okay.
So when you come to the school, you see it's a lot of diversity there. You different backgrounds, different cultures, and that's what I like best about it.
Well, it sounds like you have a wide range. Or do you intermix the ages to do some of your performances?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Our performances are done from 7-year-olds up to 17-year-olds.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so do you have a facility that?
We do. Okay. We have a studio, and we're actually expanding now with the help of ACE. I am able to expand to a new location where we will now have 3 studios versus we started off with 1.
Okay. And when you do the performances, are they there? Or are they
we do.
else?
No, we have to rent out a stage or a theater to do our performances.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. We love it. I love it, and it's a passion of mine. So to be able to do it as my job, that's even better.
Right. Yeah. And so you were doing, like you said, instruction before, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were in this kind of quote unquote industry.
Yeah,
just
in the
not
industry.
As comprehensive.
Exactly. Not dealing with the parents on the back end and overhead and all that, but
yeah. Well, talk to me about those parents on the back end and the overhead.
The parents actually, I know sometimes that's the scary part of it, but I've enjoyed my parents. I haven't had that one experience. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. My parents are very supportive. They just want to see their children on stage shining. And that's my goal. I want to make sure you see some kids, they'll come in shy and timid. Towards the end of the season, you can see that they've come out of that shell and they're ready to perform. And it is a great experience. We just recently had our winter voice recital with our voice students. And there was one little girl when she came in, she would barely speak to you. And at the recital, you could just see her song was, "This Is My Fight Song."
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. And by the end of the recital, she was just dimples and smiles. And you could just see the glow on her face of her enjoying it in front of an audience without any cares.
Well, and those kind of experiences are great for allowing people to learn how to express themselves differently, finding an outlet they didn't expect.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Something that they just didn't have the courage to do at first. And this is not just for them to continue dancing and performing, but this is as if they want to go off and, stand in front of a crowd and speak to them, presentations and stuff.
Yeah, and I talk about that. joined Toastmasters years ago,
Okay.
and people think Toastmasters is somebody who just wants to stand in front of a stage.
Right.
And it's not just that.
yeah,
It's people,
absolutely.
English is a second language if you want to kind of fine tune your English skills.
Absolutely.
It's for any time you give a presentation. If you're convincing somebody of something, even if it's
Right.
one person in a room, you're on stage.
Yes, you are. Absolutely.
You are
All eyes are on you.
Performing.
Yes.
There's a lot of that, like improv and things like that are very helpful
Absolutely.
in that
Yeah,
situation.
absolutely.
So, yeah. So, did you always? Were you all? I mean, you said you'd been dancing since you were.
Oh,
but that isn't. You could have been dancing since you were young and not decided to get into the industry.
That's true too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was different for me. It was like what they call a gift. It was a gift that was instilled in me. I remember being a little girl, and I would just watch, the productions on TV, and I was like, I want to do that one day. I want to be in this. I want to give that to someone. But like I said, growing up underprivileged, I wasn't able to do that.
Yeah.
And so, once I became like a teenager, I was able to take classes myself, and then I realized like this is where I am supposed to be.
So, but talk to me more about that. So, what was the breakthrough so that you were able to start taking classes and kind of tapping into that? And then how did you translate that to people who are participating in your programs?
Well, I guess for me, the transition was there was a family friend that was able to help with, paying for those classes for me.
Okay.
And that was my breakthrough at that point. And for those that are looking to getting into it, I mean, whether it's the parents wanting their children to do it, my thing is at least get your foot in the door. Let them try it at first, let them see what they love, whether it's jazz, tap, hip hop, ballet, which is a foundation. And I do encourage everyone to take a ballet class in addition to any of the others that you're going to do.
And so do you go and get grants and things, or is it just that the things are affordable? Like,
yeah, we're affordable. We're definitely affordable for this area.
Okay.
We don't do grants for students as of yet, but if I do see a need for it, I will look into doing that.
Okay. And so affordable, and I hate to ask the money question, but I'm going to ask the money question. So you're making enough to cover your expenses and the company, or like how does that work?
Well, our rates are based off, basically I have teachers, of course, and then, I try to base it off being able to cover all the expenses for the month. And we go by 10 months because it's August to May.
Yeah.
And summer, we do summer camps. So I try to make sure everything is within that budget. I mean, right now we're charging $55 a month for one class.
That's really good.
Yeah, really cheap. So
my sister took classes when I was young, which was a while ago. And I'm certain it was more than that.
Well, you look
good. certain more than that. So, wow, okay. Yeah. So was that hard to figure that formula out? Because there's a lot of overhead, right? You've got studio space, you've got instructors, you've got all this that goes into that before you're really making any money off of it.
Absolutely. And for those, like you said, that are looking to get into it, you have to make sure you do your research, because when you're thinking about the idea, you're not thinking about, oh my gosh, rent in Roswell or rent in this location. If you're Midtown Atlanta, you have to think about your area and what, the rates are going for your space. Yeah. Because you have to lease a space, and you got to make sure your student, like, you can definitely pay your rent. That's the first thing. Right. You got to pay your rent, and then you factor in your teachers, and unfortunately last come yourself, Yeah. And then, but as the business grows, as the years go by, like I've been open for 3 years now, and I've already seen profit on my end. So that's great.
And 3 years is about the right mark. I tell people
3 to 5.
3 years, first 1,000 days.
Yes.
And and you've got kind of this interesting cycle, because you've got people there part-time, but then you're doing the camps. And it sounds like you're being smart about using all of your resources to.
Absolutely. I had a friend tell me when I was looking into getting into the industry, she has a studio in Atlanta. She was like, when you're not there, try to make sure there's something going on. Try to keep it, busy.
How did you find the studio?
How did I find the space for the studio? Just a lot of researching, going around, speaking to different landlords, and finding the one that was right for me.
Yeah. Do you know when you walked in?
Yep, when I walked in, and it was tore up. It was not a pretty place, but I could just see past that vision.
And you have to.
You have to, yeah. The creativity part is like, I can see this here and that there. So yeah.
Well, and finding office space, or finding space for, and I use the word office space roughly, but space for your business.
Yes.
Often does take a different kind of skill, like a thinking.
Yes.
Certain people, because I help companies find their space for their company.
Okay.
And meaning, it's not part of I just did it in terms of being part of work I'm doing with them, right?
Okay.
And you'll see the owner who walks in, and unless it looks exactly like it's supposed to look, they can't get past it.
Right, yes.
And you can get a really good deal if you can walk in and see something and say, I bet we can move that wall. Or we can do this. Yeah.
And paint, do something with the floors. It's always cosmetic. Some people just got to see past it.
Yeah. And so did you always envision, like you talked about the classes and things, but putting on these productions, was that always part of it at the beginning?
At my last job, I became the director over their musical theater department. And I put on my first production and I was like, okay, this is, I even enjoyed it more than what I thought I would, producing it.
It sounds scary too.
It is.
I take piano lessons from a lady who does like 5 at different middle schools.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, you're
brave.
I bring that woman so much wine.
Especially with middle schoolers. Oh my gosh, you gotta have some patience there. So.
She's like, this is our week for all of our shows. I'm like, okay.
Oh gosh, yeah. But show week is it's a week where, you're constantly, that's what you're preparing for though.
Yeah.
So once you get up there and you see the kids on stage and you see it all unfold, it makes it that much easier.
Yeah. It's always amazing how it always comes together.
Yes,
right?
it comes together.
The dry runs are so rough.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yes, dress rehearsals. All those out there in the industry know what a dress rehearsal. You just like, at this point, we're just going to get through it. Yeah, but.
Yeah, and are you doing lessons like all during the week and on the weekends? Or
yes, we have classes Monday through Friday. We also have partnerships with schools. And we go to different schools and we have to do after school programs there.
Oh, wow. You really thought through kind of like giving it lots of little tendrils.
Oh, yeah. Like if you can't come to me, we'll come to you. So.
Okay. Well, good. Well, I want to go to a commercial break. And when we get back, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things. I know you talked a little bit about finances. Maybe, but some of the things that were maybe harder in putting this together than you expected.
Sounds good.
Maybe some of the things that were maybe easier.
Okay.
And if somebody else were thinking about a similar kind of thing, what might you tell them?
Okay. Absolutely.
So you're listening to Ace's Best Stories. I'm your host, Eric Holtzcall. We're talking with Tequila Wilkes. She's the founder and CEO of Platinum School of Performing Arts. We'll be back in just a minute.
If it wasn't for ACE, my business may have closed in 1 year.
If it wasn't for ACE, my business wouldn't be expanded as much as it's expanding right now. They were there for me at the time of my need.
If it wasn't for ACE, we would not be here today.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for ACE, I would very much still be cooking at an hourly rate, and I would have never impacted hundreds of lives and an entire community.
I still remember going to different kind of banks, big banks, and with papers, and these people send me back because I don't have, I had experience in the restaurant business, but I don't have, everything else this bank needed, and I believe in me.
I did the research in Adult Day. I had experienced it personally because my grandfather had Alzheimer's, so I wanted to do the business myself. Get into it because I knew I could make a difference.
Initially, when we started, there was only one person, which would be me. And then the company I've grown from 1% to 8, and we provide quality assurance, quality control testing for FDA-regulated companies.
I think Grace not only completely understands what it's like to start off in an office connected to your laundry room or wherever she was, but she also understands the growth process, and I think that she does an excellent job of making sure that everybody who works with ACE has an understanding of the kind of struggles and celebrations that you can have.
ACE has helped us with putting our business idea into the market, working with us, with the business actually working, actually showing us, guiding me personally, how to solve some of my marketing issue problems or with the business planning.
You don't meet many lenders that are invested in your success. And, you know, from their classes or presentations, seminars, they really do have a vested interest in your success.
The best advice I can do to small business owners is follow your dreams. You know, always follow your dreams, follow your heart.
Have a plan. Just because you have a passion for it doesn't mean that you can start a good business.
Get ready for the ride of your life. And definitely make sure that you look out for fantastic resources like ACE.
ACE is the way to go.
You're just the best. They really are.
And we're back. You're listening to Ace's Best Stories. I'm your host, Eric Holtzgall. We're talking today with Tequila Wilkes. She's the founder and CEO of a really cool kind of business, something that sounds like it almost be like get to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
Get to
absolutely.
play every day a little bit. So it's the Platinum School of Performing Arts, and they do all kinds of things, productions, teach people dance, specifically looking for people who might not ever be able to participate in these kind of programs.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very nice.
We also have a program, it's our adaptive program. And we give children with special needs the opportunity to dance. We started it actually our first year because we had a family come to us with a son that was had a special disability, and he was in a wheelchair. He was wheelchair bound, but he came to class and he wanted to get out of his wheelchair and dance, and he performed in our recital, and it was amazing. So
it sounds to me like you're just a yes kind of person.
I am. Sometimes that's a good thing, bad thing sometimes. But, you know, pretty much if you come to me and you say, hey, I want to dance, I'm going to figure out a way to make that happen.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. And so how do you said you work with different schools and, you know, I guess let me ask the question about, so talked a little bit about finances. Like what's been the hardest part of putting the business together for you?
The hardest part is, I would say, for us, for the dance studios, I'm pretty sure there are others that would agree, is the summertime.
Is it?
Because, like I said, during the school year, August through May, you know what is coming in. You know what's going out at that point. In the summer, you don't really keep the classes going because people travel. It's vacation time. So you have to try your best to budget in summer. And summer is always those slow months because you never know who's going to sign up for this camp or if you're going to have X amount of people for the next week or whatever.
Yeah. So you sort of have this combination of recurring for a period of time, and then you've got project. And you have no idea how big.
You never know what's going to walk through the door.
Yeah.
So that's always a scary point. And like I said, there are a lot of dance teachers that have said that was one of their downfalls in the finances.
Yeah. It's figuring out those cycles.
Yeah.
So what do you do? How do you market what you do, and how do you kind of get the message out there?
Well, I market. We're business partners with a few of the schools here in the area, and we market through our schools. We go out to community events. There's a big Roswell Alive After 5 event that Roswell has. We are one of the sponsors of that event. Well, not of that event, but we actually are a vendor of that event. And we're out there April through October. We're just marketing wherever we can get in. I'm there.
Got it. So your studio's here in the North Fulton area?
Yes, we are here in the North Fulton.
Okay, all right. Very nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what's been easier?
The easiest part is teaching, because once you close the doors, that's you and the kids. It's your classroom and your creativity, and you just get to be with the kids one-on-one. There's no distraction from parents, no distraction. You're not thinking about the finances at that point. So that's the easiest part.
It is fun as a business owner. You know, they're the things that you love to do, which is why you're in the business.
Absolutely.
And those things, you get to do them, but maybe not as much as you want, but they do become the zone for you.
Right. Absolutely.
You're in the zone and you're just concentrating on if it's writing or whatever it is you do well. And then then you put that aside and it's like, okay, now I got to get back to
the boring
making
stuff.
payroll or
yes.
right, whatever.
Getting with the accountant, but yeah.
Right. And so from a resources perspective, how did you know that you could go off and do this on your own?
That's a good question because I didn't. When I first thought about the idea, I actually did do like a GoFundMe.
Okay.
And I was like, I wonder how people would respond to that. I got a good response. And I had talked with another lady for quite a few years. And we actually at the beginning partnered together.
Okay.
But now I'm sole owner of Platinum School of Performing Arts. And it was a lot at the beginning. It was just a lot of marketing. Like we had at that point, you just got to get the students in there.
Right.
People have to trust in your brand. And once they see that you're doing something and that you are, they can trust what you're doing and their kids are in the right spot, I mean, they don't mind bringing their kids to you.
Yeah. And then I can imagine there's a lot of kind of trust and
absolutely
background.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, all that kind of
absolutely.
stuff. Well, even just that you know what you're doing, right?
Right, absolutely, yeah.
And the experience is going to be one that's good because you can have a really bad experience with something like that and then get turned off to it.
And
right?
there you do have those experiences. I remember being younger when I took like one of my first tap classes and it was from somebody from New York and they were just like, da, da, da. And I remember like, okay, I'm not coming back because I wasn't having fun. I mean, you still have to teach them, but you still have to, make sure that the kids are enjoying themselves.
Yeah, and if they enjoy themselves, then they'll practice, they get better into it
absolutely.
And all that kind of stuff.
And now there's so many other activities that, they could be doing. They could be like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to go play soccer or basketball. So
Yeah. And so you've talked a little bit in the first segment about kind of future plans. So you are looking or already moving into new studio space?
We are. We're supposed to move in January 2018. Okay. It's 5,300 square feet. Right now, we're in 3,400 square feet, so definitely a big move. Like I said, we were able to expand our studio space and our private voice area, so I'm very excited. Yeah.
Was that so? Talk to me about that process.
Oh, that was a process. that was one. It wasn't. It was a move that was needed, but it wasn't as if I was like, okay, I'm going to move tomorrow. Where we are now, the space, the area was sold. So it was, we were told we just have to find a new location. And at that point, I make sure I did all my research and I looked at different companies, talked to different landlords again, and I found the one that was a perfect fit for Platinum.
Yeah, how long have you been looking?
Since March of 2017.
Yeah, it takes a lot longer than people think.
Yes.
It's just like, it's a good 6 months to a year.
Oh, yeah. And I just made the announcement at the end of November to my parents because, like you say, it's a process. You have to make sure all the paperwork is done and that all the terms are being agreed to.
Well, you've got a timeline for construction. And all that stuff. Lots of little details.
All those little details no one knows about, but yes. But though, yes, the build out, that's where we are now. We're close to being finished. We just went through our third inspection, and the inspections from the city, that's another thing you got to be considerate of. You can't think, I'm just going to do this in 2 or 3 weeks and open. You got to make sure everything is up to code.
Right, and just being very clear on all of those processes too. It's just so it's a very detailed thing, and typically not something that business owners are necessarily always good at because they're visionaries and like big picture people, and then you get into doing something like a build out, and you've got fine detail. Oh yes, picking stuff you never expect you have to pick.
Absolutely, right? I encourage everyone that's going to do this to hire someone in the profession, hire an architect, make sure you have a contractor that is familiar with the city codes in the city that you want to be in.
Yeah, I was building out space for one of my companies and our colors were yellow and green.
Okay.
And I had selected the colors for the back of the space, right? And so I had a guy who worked on my team and he called me and said, I think the floors in the break room are wrong. So I picked a certain set of tiles and he's like, I think they're wrong. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll swing by on my way home and take a look. And so I walked in, and the tiles in the break room were wrong.
They were wrong.
But they weren't bad.
Right.
They were like, okay.
Right.
The walls were like Ronald McDonald yellow.
Oh, it was the walls that were bad.
So I called him. I'm like, yeah, floor's not right, but did you see the walls?
Right.
And he's like, yeah. I'm like, that's going to be a problem. Because if we're here for 10 years,
Yellow, yeah.
we have to look at bright yellow walls.
Yeah.
So I had to have it was 10,000 square feet.
Oh, wow. Bless your heart.
Yeah. 4,000 of it was right. The other 10.
Oh, my gosh.
Not so right.
Oh, my gosh.
So I called the contractor. I'm like, I've been pretty simple. But the yellow walls, they got to go.
They got to go. My gosh. I bet he was in love with you. Like, oh, my gosh.
He's like, you need to be there to pay. I'm like, I know.
Yes.
I will, but we can't do this.
Yes.
So
I'm texting my contractor all the time. Hey, what's going on? Or he's like, yes, Miss Wilkes, everything is good. So
well, it's got to be one way or the other way, right? Like they're either harassing you or you're harassing them because somebody's got to stay on top of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so so you talk about this is like future plans. Have you thought of, do you want to do multiple schools? Is this it?
I haven't thought about multiple schools, but I don't think this is like the end of it, like, hey, here's my location and we're done. I do see us growing even more. And I know when I tell people that, they think I'm crazy, but I'm like, I see a 10 studio area open, we have our own stage, and I see it, and I'm going to believe it, and I know we'll get there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're in a great area for some of that stuff, growth-wise and interest and those kind of things. And those things being cut out of schools,
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
it's kind of sad.
It is sad. It is sad.
Yeah.
Because those types of programs teach you how to think.
Absolutely.
Other programs teach you how to get the right answer.
Right.
And you got to figure out how to, think and be creative and all that.
Well,
we wish you the greatest of luck.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I've been talking with Tequila Wilkes. She is the founder and CEO of Platinum School of Performing Arts. Join us here every week on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. for another Ace's Best Story, where we bring you the story of someone who's building an organization just like Tequila's and the kind of what it takes to get out there and do that.
Let's do it.
I've been your host, Eric Holtzclaw. Thanks so much for joining us.